Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here with Southampton, and what a run of form it has been for the Saints. 13 unbeaten in the Premier League, which has got us sat in the top half of the table. Been some real good progression this year, considering we were fighting and scrapping for survival last year. We are still within a shout of potentially sneaking into a European place, although it is quite doubtful. But for me, a top half finish will be a fantastic season. We're going to jump straight into our first game today. It is Wolves at home at St Mary's, as we look to sort of pull away from the teams below us. There's a big cluster of teams just below us in the league table. So first one here against Wolves, looking to continue the unbeaten streak. Come on, you Saints. So guys, I just wanted to take a quick minute at the start of the episode and the start of this first game just to say a massive thank you, mainly just for the amount of support and specifically the lovely comments that I've been getting over the last couple of weeks on the channel. I get a lot of love from you guys quite often, but it feels like over the last week or so I've had so many lovely comments, and yeah, I just really wanted to say thank you. It really does mean so much to me, and getting the comments like that, it honestly puts a smile on my face. You know, I get, for you guys at home watching the videos, you just see these and you know, the videos come out pretty regularly, but for me, I'm just a regular guy sat at home playing FIFA, uploading onto YouTube, and it's so nice to see those comments. So yeah, just wanted to start off today by saying a massive thank you. I'm going to highlight some of the comments that I've had in particular that have really sort of touched me, and you know, it's a really nice feeling when you get those comments. So yeah, going to highlight a few. So just wanted to say thank you to not just the people that drop a comment on the video, but just everyone that watches and supports the channel. It really does mean so much. So thank you guys for everything. It really does mean so much. So with my little soppy bit out of the way, it's time to really get down to action in the Premier League. We've only got 13 games remaining of Season 2. Of course, we're out of both cup competitions, so just focusing on the Premier League over the next couple of episodes, and really want to try and finish in the top half of the table. 10th place would be a fantastic finish, considering where we were last season at this stage, scrapping for safety. So yeah, looking to end the season strong. We're still on this fantastic unbeaten run, so the longer that we can keep this going towards the end of the season, the better, and maybe we can go the whole remainder of the campaign without losing. I very much doubt it, but it has been a fantastic run for the Saints. Here's Suleimana up against Traore, who of course was on loan at the Saints. There's Shirkin. Strange ball, but it will reach Evan Nilsson. There's Fernandez and Fatawu, and Evan Nilsson lets fly, and it's a good save by Musso. Now Coyote down the right. Nice football this from Wolves. Ball into Hwang, and it's off the post. And the game's starting to liven up now. And it's not a particularly enthralling game to kick off the episode. Only the one real chance of any note. Evan Nilsson shot from the edge of the box, and Hwang hitting the post as well. Probably the best of the bunch. But yeah, the unbeaten streak extended to 14. But that's our 13th draw of the season in 26 games. We've drawn 50% of our games this campaign. And if we do want to try and push for a European spot, we need to turn some of those draws into victories. Right then, jumping into our next game here, it is Everton away at Goodison Park. And I had a comment recently that I just want to touch on regarding the simulation sliders, saying that a lot of the games feel like they're either 0-0 or 1-0 or maybe 1-0 at a push. And, you know, if you look at our record this season, just 13 goals scored and 12 conceded. We've had a lot of 0-0 draws and a lot of 1-1 draws as well. Most of our goals have been most of our wins have been by a single goal to nil. So let me know what you guys think. Should I switch back to is it dynamic or whatever the kind of regular game sliders are, or do you think I should persist and stick with the simulation sliders? Anyway, looking for 3 points here against the Toffees at Goodison. Come on, you Saints. Well, it is another game here in the Premier League that is deadlocked at the break. And yeah, in the simulation mode, I do feel like a lot of the games, especially in this save, have been deadlocked at the break. And yes, there have been more goals in the second halves of games as they start to open up, but I do find it very hard to create clear-cut opportunities. But my defence is generally pretty good, as this is a lovely build-up and Stein can't finish, hits the deck, and Everton will clear. That was a nice build-up from the Saints on that occasion, but we just did not have the finish to match. Ben into Stein, and he's looking to be the driving force here. Stein going on, still Stein, and the effort was heading well wide as Flynn Downs tries his luck, and it's turned away by the Everton keeper. Not sure who's in goal. 23 to play here. Ben whips the corner in. Dangerous ball. Keeper comes and I think does just about get something on it. And Stein again. And there's Ben again. And Brereton. Diaz! Oh, it's wide. He's been in good form recently. And that is probably the closest we've come. Just wide of Trafford's post. And that is probably going to do it with just a few moments left to play. Well, apologies, guys. Another 0-0 draw as we see Jan Bednarek is going to join Leicester City at the beginning of next season. I quite like that one. I think it's quite a realistic transfer, having played most of his career in England after moving over from Poland. But one suggestion I have had is to up the length half of the games, just as we're seeing a lot of 0-0s and 1-0. So I am going to try for the remainder of this episode at least to play on slightly longer 4-minute halves, see if the games have a few more highlights, a few more goals, etc, etc. Yeah, our next game here, it is quite a big one. Arsenal coming to take us on at St Mary's. We're currently 6 points behind them in 8th place. If we do want to try and make a push for European football this year, we probably do need to be turning these games into wins. So, unbeaten streak now extended to 15 in the Premier League, but we need to start turning some of these draws into wins. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, first game here on the slightly longer 4-minute halves. I did used to play on 4 minutes back at the beginning of FC 24 before changing to 3 just to speed things up. But with the lack of highlights, there's no harm in upping the minute length to, the half length to 4, and just seeing if that does create a few more opportunities during the games. Guimaraes, nice ball. Trossard shoots, and it's well blocked. But Arsenal pick it up again. Downs with the interception, but now it's Saka and Ødegaard, and Rabiot shoots, and that's better from the Gunners, forcing the save out of Muric. Frimpong will come across to take the corner. It's up in the air, not dealt with, and Tomori's header drops just wide. And Walker-Peters to Fatawu. And Fatawu to the byline, and it's loose, and we can't turn the ball in. That was dangerous from Fatawu, but no one there to put the ball in the net. Guimaraes into the captain Ødegaard, nice ball through. Saka lays it off, and that's a big save by Muric to deny Jeremy Frimpong. I thought that was going to be the unbeaten streak coming to an end. Corners floated in, heads go up. Somebody stays down, it's not cleared, and Saka still, and that will be another corner as the Gunners push for a late winner. It's been a slightly better game here today as Kusunu heads on, and it's just over the top, and that is going to do it. Third 0-0 of the episode, and once again we could not find a breakthrough. 0 goals scored today, and once again, guys, I can only apologise. I feel like there were slightly more chances today on the slightly longer half length, so I'm going to stick with it for at least the end of today's episode. But really, guys, do let me know what you think. If you want me to change back to the regular settings, of course I will. Let me know down in the comments. Well, before jumping into our next game, it is another of the traditional top 6 as we travel to Anfield to take on Liverpool. We're going to take a quick look at the latest batch of scouting, where for the time being, we're going to keep the reports on these 3 from Senegal. At this stage, with the amount of players we've already got in the youth academy, they have to be very, very good to make the cut. And I'm keeping the scouting on players for a good couple of months before giving them a scholarship. Again, with England here, we've potentially got some really, really good players. Leo Lee in particular looks fantastic, but with so many good fullbacks already in the academy, I'm just going to continue the scouting on these guys for now. Similar story from the Maldives as well. Going to keep the scouting on these 3, with Shadu Ibrahim definitely looking like the best of the players from the Maldives. But again, going to continue the scouting on him and see how he looks in another month or 2. Well, jumping into the next one then, Liverpool away at Anfield. Still, we sit in 10th, which is a pretty healthy position. Do I think we can make a push for Europe? No, to be totally honest, I don't think we can, unless we can start winning on a more consistent basis. But with 10 to play, if we finish exactly where we are now, I will consider it a good season. So, as I say, jumping into the next one, Liverpool away at Anfield. And if we can get a win here, it could potentially give us some momentum heading into the final run-in. Come on, you Saints. Griezmann, dangerous ball. The Frenchman has it again, shoots. Solé gets in the way, and it falls back to, I'm not sure who it was who took the shot, but Muric did well to tip it over. Had to make a couple of important saves in the previous game against Arsenal and called into action early here. Well, guess what, guys? Once again, we've got to the 45-minute mark, deadlocked at 0-0. That's a little bit loose, that, and my passing just really has not been good enough today. Giving the ball away far too often. I've struggled to break Liverpool down, but that is mainly due to the fact that every time I've gone forward, I've made poor choices with my passing and have given the ball away. But now there might be a chance with Fatawu, and again, I've not made the most of the opportunity, and that's just summed up my passing today. Trent checks back and finds Tonali. Oh, dispossessed. No, no, no. There's the goal that we concede, and it's such a sloppy one. And with how bad my passing's been today, that might be the unbeaten streak coming to an end. Ferran Torres opens the scoring, but just giving the ball away with downs, too slow in my reactions. Muric can't get there, and Liverpool take the lead. Well, we found ourselves in this position a few episodes ago, trailing by a 0-0 against Liverpool at St Mary's, and we were able to find a late goal on that day through Evanilson to keep the unbeaten streak alive, but it's not going to happen today as the Frenchman Antoine Griezmann gets the second for Liverpool. And that is going to do it now. Not been good enough today in attack, and well, our defence is normally solid, but it was only really a matter of time until Liverpool found the breakthrough. 2-0 now, and that is going to do it. Unbeaten streak is coming to an end. Well, there is the whistle, and as I say, the long unbeaten streak comes to an end. It was Fulham, the last side to beat us at Craven Cottage 15 games ago. I'd be interested to know how many of those have been draws, but it does end here at Anfield. 2 pretty sloppy goals, to be honest, especially the first one from Ferran Torres. But that's how you get punished at the top level. Liverpool win it by 2-0, and that will probably end any hope of European football for the Saints. Well, guys, before jumping into our next game, I've just been notified that we've got 3 youth players unsettled. Kai Vaughan, Alan Carney and Hugh Sharp as well. So I don't think they're the best of the players that we've got. Kai Vaughan 81 to 87 potential is okay. Hugh Sharp 81 to 87 and Carney 84 to 90. I do like the look of Kai Vaughan, so I would like to promote him to the senior team. In regards to Hugh Sharp, he's got okay potential and he's 61 overall. So I guess for the time being we will promote him to the senior team. But I think for Alan Carney, I've actually got other options that I would prefer to use in the goalkeeping position. We've got Patrick Coyne, who's got a very similar potential, Patrick Marshall, but also the main man, Shane Malcolm, who's the best of the bunch. So I'm fine letting Alan Carney walk. And let's take a quick look at those lads in the youth academy. Kai Vaughan is showing great potential, and I have a feeling Hugh Sharp will be as well if we can find him. Yeah, both showing great potential, both around the same rating as well. So we'll add both to the loan list and try and get them out and see some growth, as we've seen with Connor Cox and also Lewis Turner at the Hawthorns. Right, jumping into our next game then, Brighton at home at St Mary's in the not a South Coast derby, and now 11 points behind Liverpool in 7th after that loss at Anfield. Even with the game in hand, it's very, very unlikely that we're going to finish in a European spot. But I do want to ensure that we hold off the teams below us and at least finish in the top half of the table. So we need to get a win on the board here as we host Brighton. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, desperate to get a win on the board here. We need to return to winning ways. A, for our form, and B, to keep teams like Brighton at bay. As I know it doesn't really give us anything, but I do really want to finish in the top half. That would be great progression after, I think it was it 15th place we finished in last year? I can't remember. But yeah, we want to see gradual progression each season. And I do think trying to make a jump up to European football is quite unlikely. So a top half finish is a lot more reasonable. Oh, that's clever from Kadioglu. Baleba back to the Turk. Solé stands his ground, and now Downs can get it forward to KWP. Space for Tawu down the right. And there is Evanilson, and Evanilson gets away. And can he finish? You bet he can. Evanilson opens the scoring for the Saints, and that is exactly what we needed. Kadioglu pokes it through to Jimenez. Rutter, Kadioglu, big save by Muric. Well, Brighton have had all the territory since the goal, but they haven't really threatened us too much. And as we look to get Evanilson in behind again, has he got the finish? Yes, he does. Evanilson doubles up just before the break. And I think that is goal number 8 in the Premier League for the Brazilian. Adam Armstrong, our top scorer last year, only managed to reach 5. And Evanilson has 8 with still 8.5 games to play. He is starting to pay back some of that transfer fee paid to Bournemouth in the summer. And it's been the perfect first half here at St Mary's. Minte steps away from Taylor, and Minte and Jimenez, and now Matt O'Reilly on the edge. Let's fly, and Muric tips it over the top. Brighton looking to get back into the game here with 15 to play. Well, that is going to do it, and a pretty quiet second half, but that's because all the damage this time was done in the first. A much more exciting game. Brighton gave it a bit of a go in the second half and did force Muric into a couple of saves, but the Brazilian Evanilson with 2 goals in the first half gives Southampton the victory. Well, we'll definitely play a few more today, as we had those few 0-0s at the beginning of the episode, but the goals starting to fly in now, and another tough game here away at the London Stadium taking on West Ham. Still sat in 10th place, But Wolves have closed the gap to just 2 points, although we do have a game in hand. So they are our sort of closest challengers to try and push into the top half. Fulham, Brentford, Brighton now a little further way back. So I do think it will be between ourselves and Wolves for that final spot in the top half of the table. But yeah, just looking to play out these final games as quickly as we can, as we don't really have too much to play for now, as European football is pretty much off the cards. Early corner for the Hammers here. Kudus has gone out to take it. He goes short to Yeremy Pino. There's, oh my goodness, Edson Alvarez, whose effort took a little nick on the way through, and well, that really could have gone anywhere. Corner's floated in, keeper doesn't come, and Stein does well to get something on it. Bit of early pressure from the Hammers, but the Saints survive for now. And here comes Suleimana on the break. What a run from Kamaldeen Suleimana. Has he got the finish? Yes, he does. And the West Ham defence just absolutely parted there. Emerson misses tackle on halfway, and no one closed Kamaldeen down, and he runs through for what I think is his first league goal of the season. As Stein finds Brereton Diaz again. West Ham defence backing off, and Ben let him fly, and he's not too far away. Ben into Stein again, backing off. Stein will let fly. Oh! And the West Ham defence are just not learning. Stein bags his second Premier League goal of the season. And it's a bit of a rocket into that top corner. But West Ham just backing off our players every time we get the ball. And Bernd Leno can't believe it. But Stein rifles it into the top corner from just inside the penalty area. And the Saints lead by 2 once again. Much, much better. Leaf again. This has been a lot better from the Saints. Stein into Ben, just not forcing things, waiting for our moment. Downs out to Walker-Peters, and there's Suleimana, and he floats the ball in for Stein, and it's 3. And this may well be our best performance of the season and of the save. Stein given the start today due to Fernandez's fatigue, and what a choice it's turning out to be. The little man ghosting into the area, and he plants his header past Bernd Leno, and Kurt Zouma gets nowhere near it. The Saints lead by 3 in the capital. Ben, we're looking for a fourth here. Still Ben, still Ben, still Ben. Evan Nilsson, it is 4. What is going on at the London Stadium? 4-0 to Southampton before we've even reached the interval. Ben does well, he's composed, he picks out the Brazilian, and it's his third in 2 games for the former Bournemouth man. J-Lo can't believe it, and neither can I. Southampton have 4 in the Premier League. Well, there is the whistle, and what a first half performance from the Saints. A few boos ringing around the London Stadium. Second half was a lot quieter. The damage was already done. We had a few little half chances, nothing really of note. But as I say, all the damage done in that first 45. 4-0 victors, and our biggest victory in the Premier League of the save. What a performance from Southampton. Well, guys, do you know what? I'm actually going to end the episode there. Cue the audience boos, but I've still got a bit of a sore throat, and I am still feeling it a bit. So slightly shorter one today. But Southampton currently still sat in 10th. Now 5 points clear of Wolves with a game in hand. And that win has actually moved us just 6 points behind at 7th place Tottenham. They do have the game in hand, so they can extend that to 9. But I wouldn't say European football is 100% off the card. So my plan is to come back in the next episode with 6 of our remaining 7 games. Then we will close out the season in the following episode and have a full season roundup, look around the leagues, go through the player stats in a bit more detail before for kicking off the new season on Friday afternoon. We'll then also have an upload on Saturday morning, so you get 2 videos to kick off season 3 of The Save, which I am really looking forward to. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Please bear with me while I'm still sort of recovering from this illness, but I'll catch you for the next episode very soon. Take care and peace.